Two more Republican recall efforts fizzled out today. The elected Democrats who were targeted are going to stay in office. State Senators Brittany Patterson of Lakewood and Pete Lee of Colorado Springs. So now this makes 5 Republican recalls this year that have gone nowhere. But don't call them failures. I'm telling you, these recalls succeeded. The Republicans running them succeeded in taking money from their fellow Republicans who donated based on false hope that there was going to be a serious recall campaign. And these Republicans succeeded in gathering voter information, lists of data that they can keep and use for whatever they want. Recall organizers howled about media bias when we told you that these were not serious recall efforts. And today, they're howling with laughter because they got the money, they got the voter information, mostly from fellow Republicans who just wanted to believe. A Republican in the state Senate wants to believe we can do better than this. He talked with politics guy Marshall Zellinger.
When lawmakers return to their day jobs next year, they will debate changing the law on how they can have those day jobs taken away from them.
Recalls are something that happens from both sides politically.
Republican State Senator Jack Tate is one of the senators not facing a recall this summer. He's working on legislation next year to create truth and transparency in recalls. He tells me his motivation is not the attempted recalls of multiple Democrats in his own chamber, but rather the recall of 3 conservative Jefferson County School Board members 4 years ago.
I don't really feel comfortable having taxpayers fund political rhetoric on ballots.
Right now, Colorado law requires petitions to contain a general statement consisting of 200 words or less, stating the ground or grounds on which the recall is sought.
Right now, the law is somewhat vague in terms of requiring factual information.
The National Conference of State Legislatures, based in Denver, tracks recalls across the nation. 12 states and Washington, D.C. allow you to recall your elected leaders. 7 states allow recalls but require specific grounds to be met, like incompetence in Alaska, malfeasance in Georgia, a physical or mental lack of fitness in Montana. And Virginia allows recalls for specific reasons, but they don't end in an election. They have a recall trial. So what would Colorado change?
The ballot language, we're asking for it to be factual information and factual information that can be verifiable.
Who is going to be the arbiter of what is verifiable and truthful?
I don't know yet.
It's not like there's a commission that determines facts and verifiable information, although I do know someone who does that on a regular basis.
That guy looks familiar. Tate's proposal would also require the transparency and the cost of the potential recall election itself, not collecting the signatures, and it would prevent a state lawmaker from being recalled while they're at work from January to May. Democratic State Representative Tom Sullivan, who beat his recall, is also looking at legislation to add provisions before a recall can happen. Kyle.
I'm not saying that this idea is weak sauce, but it doesn't change the bar for what you can recall somebody for. I mean, in Colorado, you can recall an elected official for just following through on a promise if you don't like what they did. I mean, some states have a significantly higher bar than that.
I talked with Tate about that, the idea of what would be verifiable, what would be truthful. We saw with the Polis effort, they say that he lied about what he campaigned on, and if you're Jared Polis, you'll be like, no, I campaigned exactly on what I said I would do, and I signed legislation for that. Who would be that person that says, well, wait, that doesn't meet the criteria of truthfulness, so you get recalled now? I don't know.
We could call that the Marshall test, I think is what we could call that.
I don't need another job.
All right, very good. Thank you, Marshall.